on a dog anywhere. Hey, everybody. Welcome. It is Monday night. Welcome to the MCU Mondays. We're glad you're joined us. I am your host, David. We're glad you're here. With me, as always, is my co-host, Debbie. Debbie, how are you this evening?
Well, I'd just like to apologize for us being late because it was me.
It was Debbie's
Normally
fault.
it's not.
No.
But today it was because all of a sudden my camera decided to poop out.
Usually it's Andrew's stuff, but tonight it was Debbie.
I had to turn it off and turn it back on. So I apologize.
That old IT fix. You know how it is.
Yeah, also, I get paid $60,000 to tell people to turn their computer on and off.
Also with us tonight, as he always is Andrew. Andrew, how are you this evening?
Well, it was a busy, hot day today, but I've cooled off, and I'm happy to be here talking Daredevil.
Busy, hot day of sitting in your room playing on your computer, or are you working now?
Right? Yeah. No, I've been doing a lot of work around our neighborhood today.
Gotcha.
So running all over the place, cleaning stuff, and 100-degree weather. No, cleaning pools. Cleaning pool bathrooms.
So. I hated that. I did not like cleaning pools.
Yep. And house sitting and all that jazz, but
yeah.
Oh, house sitting, I wouldn't mind.
Bad, but no. You step out. Yeah, but
whose houses are you sitting
in the car? If you leave, exactly right. I can't give any names. I can't do that. It's secret. It's in the contract.
He signed an NDA.
I mean, you exactly. Yeah, I can't say. But I mean, you step outside for 5 minutes and you sweat out here. So when the feel's 115,
it's bad enough where
you sit down in the car and it's.
Well, I was going to say you step outside and then all of a sudden, all of your clothes just turn wet and stick to your body. It's, just instant.
Exactly.
The humidity's that bad. So
I'm not old enough to be talking about weather, so I'm not quite.
My trick knee always acts up. That old chestnut. Well, what do we got tonight, kids? We're talking Daredevil, and what an episode! Debbie, I saw a bunch of stuff in here that I was just thinking. All I could think of was, I can't wait to see Debbie's reaction to this one.
I was so I just watched the episode, and the further in we got, I was so pissed. I was like, "Damn it, Matt! Just tell her no. Let her get killed. We don't care."
But you know what? Before we start talking about this episode, I think we need to run our. Let's run our intro, shall we? Yes, let's run the intro. So let's play this thing.
You really need to change that.
I really do. I need to. I'm trying to think if I've got anything going on this weekend. I had to work all weekend this past weekend, so I was on call all weekend, so I ended up like most of the day Saturday, and like half a day Sunday. And when I got home Sunday, I was just like, I'm done. I'm not doing. That's why I didn't even schedule the show until this afternoon.
I know. I was just because I made the thumbnail and I was like, where's the show? It's not scheduled.
There's nowhere to put it.
I just sent it to you.
There's nowhere to schedule it. That's right. So I wasn't lazy this weekend. I was busy with real life. I apologize for that.
The hell's that?
That's Samuel. He's fighting dead.
No, I meant what's real life.
Oh. Yeah, well, that's it. So anyway,
You mean we have to talk to people?
Yes, we have to
Oh.
talk to people.
Mm.
I
I don't want to.
don't want to.
That's why Debbie's a secretary. I'm just kidding.
I'm not a secretary. What the hell are
Can
you
you
talking
imagine?
about?
Oh, she's in the
Oh, I'm just saying, imagine that. Imagine
Oh.
that. You walk in, how you doing? Meh.
Yeah.
I've been
Anyway.
a secretary. I don't like it.
So let's talk Daredevil, shall we? Good night, Sam.
Good night.
Special cameo by Samuel. Matt is making some interesting life choices here.
He's a dumbass.
But you know what?
Dumas? You mean Dumas?
But see, here's the thing: is I look at Matt, and Matt's a guy. Matt is a man. I completely understand it. You sit there and you say dumbass, and that's from a woman's perspective. From a guy's perspective, we look at that as the ex-girlfriend is coming back, and we really, really liked her. Maybe we can get back together. Maybe this is going to happen. Also, something else with it too is, she's got money. She's rich. So that appeals to Matt from a man's point of view, not necessarily from Matt's point of view, but just as an instinctual man kind of thing. Now you've got a sugar mama who wants to take care of you. You are having a lot of fun with her. Somebody's on the chat, and I don't have my chat bar open. There's Brandon Anderson. How's it going, sir?
Hey.
So this is Matt just saying, yeah, she was a lot of fun. I can go hang out with her. Maybe we can get back together. Maybe not. Who knows? Whatever. It is what it is. I like her.
He knows she manipulates him.
Yeah.
He knows. And he gets pissed off every time that she does it. But yet, he puts the case in jeopardy. I mean, he missed opening statements. Foggy had to fake his way through it. And then he's like, and then Foggy goes off on him.
You did great. Don't worry about it. We're doing good. Oh, Foggy, it wasn't just the opening. You missed strategy sessions. You missed a lot of stuff. I mean, he tore into him. He goes, now you got to figure out if you're going to run around chasing bad guys or help us save this guy kind of thing. So,
he even told him towards the end of the episode, I'm not going to count on you for this trial.
Yeah.
It's like, good for you, Foggy. Damn it.
So some backbone.
And even Karen kind of went at him too.
Well, I think he's very hesitant to tell Karen about Elektra, because this is something, he's working on this new relationship with Karen, and Karen, you've got to tell me what is going on. So he's almost to the breaking point with her, to where he's almost like, I've got to tell her not only what is going on with Elektra, but what I've been doing at nights and why I have my cool scars and all this other kind of stuff too. So anyway, Karen was, I'm beginning to prefer Elektra more as a girlfriend for Matt than Karen. What?
Debbie's like
on either one of them. Either one.
So
I got a question for you, Debbie. Is
Mhm.
there a girl character, whether from the comics or that we've seen, that you think Matt would be good for Matt?
Claire.
Claire,
No.
the doctor. Doctor, she's nurse.
Oh, that's right. I completely forgot.
I don't know about the comics.
Yeah, that's true.
I haven't read the comics, but yeah, Claire. Yes,
That's true.
too needy. She does stupid things that gets people killed.
Or in trouble.
Or herself in trouble.
She's got the Lois Lane syndrome going on. I don't have to worry about getting in trouble because Superman will save me. Only there's no Superman in this one, so she's only like half right. I was like that. There was a summer. A friend of mine and I used to and this was a long time ago before people's feelings got hurt by anything. But in high school, we were halfway bulimic. We would just eat ourselves stupid for like an entire summer, but we would never gorge ourselves. We would just eat until we were like, I can't move. I'm so full. And then when we could move again, we would get up and go get more food and go eat. And so for like an entire summer, that's all we did.
Oh, that'd be nice.
So we were halfway bulimic.
I live in an ingredients household, so you want something that's going to take 10 to 15 minutes before you get to eat it.
Well,
By that time, you're like, I don't want to eat this anymore.
My point being is that Karen has like got half of the Lois Lane syndrome going on. She doesn't have the superhero in underwear coming to save her. Anyway, so we start off. They're coming up with a strategy. They're thinking PTSD and then craziness, and they're finding out about
that.
Huh? Andrew, you look like you raised your hand. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm. You can. I don't want to interrupt you.
Oh, okay.
I do it all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nothing.
Oh, well, I was gonna say the PTSD part is when I was watching this for the first time. Not now, but when I saw the show for the first time, this was one of my favorite parts about Frank. Was when that came up as a possibility, and when he rejected it, it was not because he felt embarrassed as a soldier turned psycho due to war, but because he felt like it would insult soldiers that actually had
were going through.
You know,
that.
he didn't want it to be like, he didn't want that. He was like, no, I don't have PTSD. So that was one. You know, I really like that about his character.
I think he does have PTSD. I don't think it's from war situations. I think it's from the loss of the family. Because everybody automatically assumes you say PTSD. They think, oh, well, what war were you in? Or what did you do? And it's like, well, a lot of things can cause, it's post-traumatic stress. Traumatic stress can cause PTSD. So, you know, I mean, my wife was in a car accident 10 years ago, 11 years ago, something along that lines. And it was over one stretch of highway. And it was raining, and there was something on the highway, and it was on an overpass, and she slipped, and then she just spun out. And she ended up breaking her back, and she had to have spinal fusion and all this other kind of fun stuff. Well, because of that, when she drives now, if we happen to go, she's very cautious when we go over that overpass. I mean, it can be, you know, it's not raining, the sun's out, dry as a bone, you can see everything, and everybody's flying, and she's just real slow driving over that overpass just because that's where that happened. So post-traumatic stress. So, but for them to say, I think they were shooting for the PTSD as far as, you know, his military career, because they were asking for character witnesses and things like that to say, okay, what did he endure? All that kind of fun stuff.
Well, you know what that kind of made me think of when they were trying to make that a possibility of like, oh, we'll say he has that PTSD is like when there's a murder case and they try to say, oh, that person's mentally unstable, we need to put them in a treatment or whatever, they don't need to go to prison, or, you know, they try to make it seem like it's because of this, you know.
Right.
But maybe that's not quite the same. I don't know. That's just what popped in my head.
Well, and, you know, PTSD can be treated you're not automatically going to go to a psych ward for PTSD. Right. So
no, you would need therapy.
I meant more as Like I meant more from a lawyer standpoint of when like your defense attorney's trying to make it less on you. Not that those are, the same thing, but like a lawyer's like, oh, we get this less on you if we make them think you're crazy or play it off like that, or in this instance with PTSD, but that's why I like that Frank's like, no, I
Yeah.
that's not the case.
So we've got let's see, what do we have? We've got Frank not wanting to do PTSD.
Karen doesn't want to do the insanity plea,
Yeah.
which I agree.
No, because and that makes perfect sense because his it wasn't like he went and shot them once and ran away kind of thing. It was definitely premeditated. He's targeting these guys, and you can tell that he's targeting because it's not like he's just killing random people. He's hitting the specific gangs, even when there's innocents around. So you can tell it's it's not
very purposeful.
Yeah. It's premeditated. So you can't sit there and say he did it, he did crime of passion or something like that. Then you've got Matt not showing up, and you've got Elektra fighting the Yakuza still, and she's dragging him off. Let's see. The fighting was really good in this one. You've got Matt kind of showing his stuff. He's not let's see. What am I thinking of? He's not getting the crap beat out of him anymore. How about that? You remember so much in that first season, he would fight these guys and he would take his licks. But now he's kind of in his groove now to where I've got it figured out now. I know where they're coming from, and I can hear them coming. He's becoming more the comic version of Daredevil that everybody knows and loves, to where it's like,
well, and the suit helps too.
Yeah, oh yeah, the suit helps, but anyway. Matt has no time to fight with the Yakuza. I completely agree. He needs to, but that's an interesting thought too. Hang on. I wonder if the helmet helps to amplify his hearing. He does seem to be using his hearing an awful lot more than what he was, I guess, in the previous seasons. But
well, and you can tell he's so frustrated, mostly by freaking Elektra, that he's really beating the shit out of these people.
he really is.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was one guy I thought he was gonna pulverize his face. I was like, dang, man, chill. Take it out on her, beat her to a pulp.
Oh gosh.
What now?
Is your mind in the gutter?
Let's see here. But see, I think he had that chance. If he got rid of the Yakuza, then maybe he could have some quality time, quote unquote quality time with Elektra. But see, he had that chance when she got injured, and they were talking about scars and this and that, and like this was Yakuza and this was Fisk and this was that and blah 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 blah. She didn't. She was there in her undergarments, and he was there in his undergarments, and nothing happened. She just fell asleep on the couch.
Thank God. Probably would have puked.
Oh no, you wouldn't have. You would have been okay.
I wouldn't have liked it.
Fast forward.
Why you still haven't watched it? What?
What?
Girl, it's been on for since what, 2018
about
or
2015.
Yeah, even
It
earlier
ended
than
in
that.
18,
Yeah.
but yeah. Gosh, I was just a wee one. That was almost half my life ago.
Oh, shut up.
I definitely wasn't watching it when it came out.
Does it count that my husband had? Sure.
Why haven't you watched it with him?
Yeah.
That's my question.
Because
I'm
that's
joking
his
with you.
show. He watches it on his time.
My wife doesn't watch it with me either. So
my cat watches it with me. Does that count? Chewy watches a lot of shows with me.
And he's younger than me. And he's watching this stuff. Yeah, that's not fair.
Well, my kids and I,
no, the conversion.
They watch various shows that I watch. So just like before the show, my daughter and I were talking about The Bear and our frustrations with the season. And then, I also talked to her about House of Dragons. And then my oldest son, I talked to him about House of Dragons too. So, it's fun when people watch the same stuff. Yeah. People to talk to. But quit watching anime.
When speaking of the Bear, I saw that they dropped all the episodes at once. Would you have preferred to do weekly if they had done weekly? Yes. So I wonder why they did it for season 3.
No, they've always dropped them.
Is this the final season? Oh, they've always dropped them?
No. Yeah, they've always dropped them.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
But there's hardly anybody that likes this season of The Bear, and I have to completely agree. It's just my daughter texted me. She goes, "This season is just stressing me out." I have to agree. My anxiety was
Isn't it the final season?
No.
Is it? I don't.
Nope.
Oh, it isn't. Oh, I didn't.
Nope.
Oh, I thought I saw.
No,
I'm thinking
if
of a
you
different
haven't
show
watched
then.
it at the very end, the last episode, it says to be continued. I mean, who the hell does that?
Oh, okay.
Come on.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I was thinking of a different show. Oh, it was Cobra Kai, because that final season's coming out.
Yes, I'm very excited to see that.
Be thinking of.
And see, I wasn't a fan of the movies, but man, I love the show.
Parts.
You weren't a fan of the movies?
You didn't like the first Karate Kid? You didn't even
like
the
OG?
OG?
Fine. I watched it, but the other one, I have offended him.
The first one was great.
Beyond.
The first one was great, was amazing. The second one, that's one of those movies to me, in my opinion, and if you don't like my opinion, you stink.
DVD.
this is one of the very few movies where I think the sequel actually surpassed the original as far as good goes. I think the second one is my absolute favorite. And see, I would have said the same thing with Indiana Jones. Raiders was amazing. Temple of Doom was awesome.
Whoa.
But Last Crusade.
Top tier. That was peak.
Tier. That was
Yes.
peak right there. That was a beautiful,
Yes.
beautiful thing. So
Fine, I'll go watch Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade for the 10,000th time.
I know, right? I could probably sit and quote the stupid thing if I really wanted to. Belongs in a museum. So do you. Sorry.
Yeah, the first one was fine.
I love that movie.
I think I've seen the second one. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, I just wasn't into that.
If you
but
don't
I
like
love the
remake,
series.
I agree with that.
I love the series.
Yeah, the series is great. Yeah. You know, it actually, the first 2 seasons were YouTube. YouTube did them, and then Netflix picked it up in season 3, and then they've made each season since. I don't know if you knew that.
Are you talking about
When Cobra Kai first came out?
Are you talking about the second Karate Kid movie?
Whoa.
Because that second Karate Kid movie was
We need to talk.
wow. That was like the greatest soundtrack. Well, it wasn't the greatest soundtrack ever, but it was amazing.
Wow.
Oh,
It's Bill Conti. Like,
Cat,
Bill Conti had a great
you and I are gonna have
great
to
run in the 80s.
We're gonna have to have,
Get him,
Think
girl.
about
we're gonna have to have
Bill
some
Conti
words
had
later
such a
on.
great run with Bill Conti had such a great run with Rocky and the Karate Kid. Those soundtracks are really good. That's just
And
Now,
had
Rocky, I could get
Chicago.
behind.
Chicago. You can't go wrong with Chicago.
I love Chicago.
yeah, exactly.
I used to have all their albums.
But anyway,
Back to Daredevil.
Back to Daredevil. Now that we're done talking about Cobra Kai and
Wow.
Karate Kid,
So, anyways, they
I can do
come
the
up
kick.
with a decent defense, and that's to what's the word I'm looking for?
they were gonna expose the
Discredit
the
medical examiner.
Yeah.
And the DEA at the same time.
But when they did this, okay, so they had this plan. They were gonna do it all out, and of course, Matt told Elektra.
No, he didn't tell her. She was listening in on him and Karen.
That's right. He was listening to him and Karen. And Elektra, I think, is of the mind of, if I can just get his mind off of this thing, then I can have him back to myself. They should have just used the Wookiee.
Man.
Now, if you agree that Chewbacca is a Wookiee from Kashyyyk, then you must have quit. But I think it's more of a, he's got his mind too much focused on something else, and I really need him to focus over here. So I'm going to help clear this part of the focus.
Yeah, she wants more playtime. So she thought if she threatened the medical examiner that the case would be over, and there'd be all kinds of time to go fight and together and save the world and Vodio Dodo and.
But see, now, was it just me though, or did the medical, well, when the medical examiner cracked on the stand, did it seem to you that the DA was kind of surprised by his news as well? I don't think Reyes knew that he had been falsifying things. She just had
I don't know if she was shocked about that or just shocked that somebody had threatened him.
Oh, to me, it seemed like she was like, "What? What are you talking about? Oh my! Somebody threatened you." Yes, and I'm surprised that they didn't blame. Well, I guess they did, kind of in a way, blame Matt's team, and it's like, why would we do that?
And then the judge threw it out, and I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
The justice system.
Jeez. Jeez, Justice.
Debbie for president, 2028.
I want nothing to do with that. I wouldn't be able to stay in a room with another politician. I'd have to beat the crap out of him or something. And plus, I'd probably be dead by 2028. So.
No.
Yeah, there's still time to run for 2024.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. 2024. There you go.
Anything's better than what we got going on right now.
You would be the ultimate. Yeah. Ultimate underdog right there.
I couldn't be any worse.
As long, Debbie, as long as you have an active golf career.
Exactly. You gotta have an active golf career, and
that's all you need.
Does putt count? That's the only thing. I tried to golf because my ex-boyfriend was a golfer, and I tried to learn golf to hang out with him. I just could not do it.
Oh, hey, look, there's Mrs. Andrews' mom.
Oh, uh-oh. I didn't know my mom was watching.
Hi, Mom.
Oops.
Do a write-in for Debbie for president. There you go. I'm good with
there
that.
You go. Get the shirts, get the campaign going. Cam can be your campaign manager.
Send me your money. I'm going to start a, what is it, a GoFundMe or what's the other one?
Yeah, and if you get to be president, I could be like your head of security or something like that.
Friend. Right, yeah.
I tell you, people would not like me because I would change a whole bunch of crap. Term limits for everybody.
Make things cheaper?
Age limits for everybody.
Make things cheaper? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Make things cheaper.
I do what I could. I don't know how that works, but.
Nah, I don't either.
Anyway.
So back to Daredevil.
Oh, so I can't be the security? Is that what you're saying?
Let's see. Henry Cavill.
Yeah, we're fired, I guess.
Jason Momoa.
Harrison Ford.
Ryan Reynolds.
Now Harrison Ford would be an advisor because he's super smart.
That would be why. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Oh. I was going to say I'm not married.
I'm not.
I am.
I'm not married.
No. Anyway, Foggy does the opening thing because Matt.
We already discussed that.
Well, we did, but we didn't. I mean, Foggy came up with a. What did Frank say? Sounded like a load of horse shit.
Yeah, something like that. It cracked me up.
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor, Hayden Christensen would have to be on my security detail. I'm just coming up with things.
For security reasons.
Yeah. Obviously. For security reasons.
That's what their job is. Yeah, obviously. Yeah. Got to make sure you're protected. Yeah. See.
So, let's see. What else happened?
Let's see. Well, quit it. Quit it.
I was waiting for you to look back up again.
I keep thinking I need to make a new one.
Yep. Thank you, John Biscardi, for that.
Man.
Yeah. So when their when the Emmy gets his testimony striked from the record and all that good stuff, then Matt goes to confront Elektra, and I really thought he was going to go off on her and just, but no. So yeah, she comes up with, well, I'm just following your rules. Whatever you don't get during the day, you do it at night. It's not the same thing, bitch.
But really, she makes a point.
I don't care. I don't like her.
All right. What did you think of the guy that they went to do all the decoding stuff when they had to decode the paper?
The
professor. That was hilarious. I thought that was great. He's got them the Asian hookers in there, and they're yakking at him. They're yakking back and forth. Oh, this guy's terrible. I am terrible, but I've also got money, and he's talking to them.
Korean.
Whatever. Asian. I said Asian. That's encompassing.
I was specifying.
Okay.
For the audience.
All right.
The
point was that he spoke
like, I don't care.
I don't care.
Back in the day, they were all Asians.
I was trying to be. I wasn't sure who they were or what they were, so I was just encompassing everybody.
I just going by the captions. It said Korean.
Oh, did it? I didn't even see that. All right. I forgot you watch all this crap with the captions on.
I'm old. I have to.
I do too.
Either the music's too loud, or they're whispering, or the background's too loud, and you can't hear them. So yeah, or they have a heavy accent. I'm like, what'd you just say?
Mine's just mine's a hearing standpoint. I can't make out what someone's saying. It just sounds like like an adult in Charlie Brown. That's what it sounds like if I don't have subtitles on.
I don't have that issue. So. I'm usually folding my laundry when and it's on a big 65-inch TV that I'm like literally standing right in front of. So
yeah,
it's either the sound,
super hearing, that's why,
or it's so dark.
Oh, see, that one gets me too.
That pisses me off.
Because there was a lot of that in this episode where it was
in any show, Game of Thrones, House of Dragons,
like House of the Dragon,
episode of The Acolyte. It's like, you do know you can. Yeah, I mean, they film these in the daytime. Okay, there's different filters.
Right. Yeah.
There's different.
You don't have to use the darkest one.
And you don't have to. We get that it's dark. You can make it look dark without it actually being so dark. So
yeah, when I can't even see it when I have all my lights out. Curtains.
I got blackout curtains for Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon.
It don't matter. I mean, I can have my curtains closed, lights out, and I still can't see what the haze going on. It's like, change the filter, people.
Usually,
you spend all this money on an episode, and we can't even enjoy it because we can't see it.
Because we can't see it. What good is spending all the? You might as well just record a blank screen. Have dialogue.
Exactly.
It's like I tell people, it's like an audio drama.
Radio drama.
I tell people, I'm like, House of the Dragon is a radio, right? Sorry. It's like I tell people, House of the Dragon is a very dark show, literally. A dark show.
Well, at least this season, it hasn't been as bad as some of the episodes of Game of Thrones. Some of those episodes, it was just like,
that's true. Yeah.
What the freaky deaky's going on?
I hear a lot of blood and everything, but I can't see it. I want to see the heads fall off.
So the judge just dismissed the testimony from the ME. The prosecution has its next witness coming up, but now the team of Murdoch and Nelson and Murdoch don't seem to have any kind of follow-up plan. Because ideally, what they were going to do was discredit the ME, and then that would cause a mistrial, and things would be better. But
yeah, I was trying to think. Does the Colonel come in? Because that was the one.
Not yet.
No, I meant he does come in during
Oh, does he?
trials. Does he? That's what I'm asking.
I know. That's what I'm trying to think.
Because that was the one person that Frank said that would be okay to bring in
bring in as a character witness.
as a character. Yeah.
Gosh.
So I was trying to think because before I rewatched this episode, because it's called Semper Fi, so I thought, oh, when he mentioned the Colonel, I was like, oh, okay, this is why it's called Semper Fi. But no, had absolutely nothing to do with it.
Other than the fact that they mentioned that he was a Marine. So,
at any rate,
what's the next episode called? It's Guilty as Sin.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Guilty as Sin is the next episode, so a little foreshadowing there. What are so Matt and are the Yakuza just setting up all of these fake deliveries and everything to get Matt and Elektra and kind of catch them, if you will? Is that kind of the idea going on here?
Yeah. Well,
spring the trap.
Yeah, because they had that fake. Well, I mean, it was actually a train car, but they had it filled with dirt. But there was a reason it was filled with dirt. They didn't figure that out until a little later.
Right. Oh, the hole. That's right. Yeah. They figured it out and they're digging a hole.
Yeah. When I seen that hole, I was like, I could have sworn this happened in season 3. Unless it's not the events I'm thinking of.
That's what we get when we don't go back for rewatches every now and then.
I don't know, but I think this is eventually they go down in that hole, but I think eventually this is where I really, really begin. You think I hate Elektra now?
Just wait till you see what's coming.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, I think, there's some.
Debbie's rage will be heard all across the United States.
Oh boy.
We're gonna have to mute her mic every 5 minutes because you have made your point.
Okay, we get it.
Yeah, I'll try not to blow out.
David just nonchalantly does it, and Debbie doesn't notice it, so she's just going off. We're like, we can't hear you.
All right. Yeah, so he chucks the flashlight down the hole.
And it never does land.
And it never does land. Which I mean, I guess he was listening for it. I looked at it and said, if I've got a flashlight and I'm going to chuck it down the hole, I'm going to follow the light down to see how deep it is. And then I was like, you're blind. You can't see it. Why did you chuck the flashlight? You could have just thrown a rock.
Yeah, it's just a little hard to do when you're blind.
So, anyway, just kind of a cliffhanger ending. Now we get to figure out what happens next. Guilty as Sin. Did we miss anything, Debbie?
No, I think we hit pretty much everything.
Okay. Well, that leads us to something that I want to try.
Oh, no.
Andrew brought this to my attention, and now I want to try it. If you're watching right now and you have a question about anything in the world for any of us here on MCU Mondays, and you want to pose that question, throw it in the chat. Let us know. Let us see. We'll see if we can answer some questions. You know what? Maybe we'll drop something out on the on the Facebook page, and you can just answer, and then we'll read something off during the show next week. But if you have any questions about anything in the world, it could be how tall is Debbie? You know, what's the square footage of your bedroom, Andrew? How many hairs are in your nose, David?
I don't even know that.
I don't see anything. So, but I tell you what. Oh, go ahead.
Earlier, well, I was gonna say earlier I tweeted asking if anyone had any questions, and we did get a reply.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if you'd like me to read,
Yes,
that,
please.
we got one. We got a 2-part question from
Who is
Ro
it from?
of Seraph Scuttlebutt podcast.
Okay.
And he asks, how are we feeling lately about the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Are you guys looking forward to the Fantastic Four? So there's a 2-parter for you there. For us.
As far as Phase 4 goes, I was disappointed. I must say I was, as much as I enjoyed Phases 1 through 3 and as well done as those movies were, Phase 4, I think Chris touched on this a little bit, to where they kind of went for quantity versus quality. And it was just like, we need to throw out as much content as we can. So it was like show week off, show week off, show week off. You had WandaVision, and then Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then Loki, and then Hawkeye, and then and you had a movie in between all of this stuff, and it was just so much content out there. And you've got to look at you look at the shows were, Loki was really good. I liked Loki both seasons. Falcon and the Winter Soldier was okay. I enjoyed it. Hawkeye, I liked Hawkeye. I don't care what anybody says. The shows were okay.
Hawkeye's really good.
They weren't like, oh my gosh, I got to go back and watch them every year kind of thing. I did watch Hawkeye over Christmas, but you have to, because it's a Christmas show now. But the movies have been so just lackluster. I mean, let's look at that. Shang-Chi, I loved Shang-Chi. I thought that was amazing. I thought it was great. But then you go into things like the Eternals and Thor, Love and Thunder. And
right.
I mean, even to some degree, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I mean, just to some degree. I mean, that was good, but it could have been so much better if they would have done it right. And
but Guardians Volume 3,
yeah, that was good.
Was great, and the Christmas special, Guardians was great.
Oh yeah. 100%.
To a degree, I would have even said Werewolf by Night, but again, there was just so much.
Yeah.
One of the things, and I'll take this back to Star Wars, and I think this is where Disney kind of screwed up with Star Wars. When the original trilogy and the sequel or the prequel trilogy came out, there were 3 years between each movie. That was enough time for the fandom to digest the movies. If you saw something in the prequels that you did not like, you still had 3 years to sit there and watch it over and over and over again and say, you know what, this is part of the movie, so now I enjoy it because it is Star Wars. And then you had Star Wars came out with Disney, and it was like there was a movie every year. And fans just did not have time to digest and talk about it. And I think Marvel did the same thing with Phase 4, to where it was like show, movie, show, movie. Hi, Travis. How are you?
That's funny.
It started out as Marvel.
I was making I was making a what am I thinking?
Analogy.
Thank you.
Comparison.
I was just comparing the two.
Big words.
Yeah, quit using your $5 words. I'm tired.
Thank you.
Actually, inflation. Your $20 words.
Just have a good vocabulary.
So anyway, but it was like it was just like that to where there was just so much content. And don't get me wrong, we started MCU Mondays on WandaVision. So having all of that content, we had a ton of stuff to talk about every week. And it was like, okay, well, we've got WandaVision. We're talking about every episode of WandaVision. Then we got a week off before Falcon and the Winter Soldier starts, but that's fine because now we can go back over WandaVision again. And then Falcon and the Winter Soldier starts, and you got stuff to talk about. And then Multiverse of Madness comes out. And then, I mean, it was just, there was a lot of content out there, but I think that it was too much. And people got fed up with it. I mean, it was just, it's like, here, eat more, eat more, eat more. It's like, no, I'm full. Just stop. No, eat more, eat
It's
more.
like a grandma. It's a grandma to potluck.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm glad that they stepped back a little bit. I'm glad that Phase 5 hasn't been, oh my God, nuts. Now, let's see. Was Miss Marvel, was that Phase 4 or Phase 5? I think that was.
I can't keep track of them.
I don't
Quantumania kicked off Phase 5.
So Miss
Quantumania kicked
see,
off
and I
Phase
like the
5,
Marvels.
So.
Marvel
was.
I thought the Marvels was really good.
I did too. A lot of fun.
So, and Miss Marvel, I enjoyed that too. So,
that's.
I mean, good. Phase 5 has done, in my opinion, done okay, done well. I just. Uh-oh.
Well, and sort
Punisher
of
and Iron Fist. Iron Fist? You liked Iron Fist?
What is wrong with you?
You know what? You know what?
I like.
That's fine. That's fine.
Hey, I love Punisher, but Iron Fist, it was all right. It was just, it didn't hit the same as all the others. Pun intended. So my answer to that question. See, this is the way I look at it. I like and enjoy a lot of fandoms. Star Wars, Marvel, Star Trek, Jurassic Park, any other fandom you can think of. And there's, in each of those fandoms, I enjoy them as a whole. But there's always stinkers in there that I don't necessarily care for. And I probably wouldn't watch again.
Not every episode of the Clone Wars was good. Not every story arc in the Clone Wars TV show.
Exactly.
No.
I mean, but I don't go on rants about it. You know, like some of these people, and I don't care what fandom it is. They go on these rants like, "Oh my God, Kathleen Kennedy." It's just like, if you look at the early phases of Marvel, Iron Man, it had a stinker movie in there. Yeah. I still watch it. Thor had a couple.
Had a couple. Yeah, well.
Exactly.
But I still watch him. It's just like
3/4.
I don't enjoy it as much.
What was the stinker? What was the stinker Iron Man movie?
2.
2? You didn't like 2?
Well,
I would have said 3.
Either one. 2. The only thing that saved 2 was Sam.
Oh yeah, Sam. Yeah.
Because I love Sam Rockwell.
True.
Yeah.
He's the only thing that really saved that movie.
You know, we had Iron Man.
All right. Yeah. And in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, the only perfect trilogy out of all of Marvel is Guardians.
I'll buy that. I'll agree.
Including the Christmas special. James Gunn did not miss with those movies.
I thought you were a big one for the Cap movies.
I like the Cap movie. Well, I mean, Winter Soldier, that's my number. I just watched that again for about the 2 millionth time. I watched that over the weekend. Yeah. Well, I thought Guardians is perfect. I'm sorry.
Now, those
I
that know
love watching
me,
the cat movies, but
No, I was
Guardians is
laughing at
perfect.
Travis.
that everybody that knows me knows that I'm not a fan of the first Captain America movie. Montage on top of montage on top of montage, which is fine,
Oh,
but
yeah.
this was again, we were talking about it earlier. This was Howard Stark showing his butt. Yeah. I think this was one of the ones where the sequels to me just got better because the first one was just kind of meh, whatever. The second one was Winter Soldier, and that's like everybody's favorite. But then, and to me, Civil War.
That
What?
is blasphemy.
Oh no, we need
my
to mute Debbie.
God.
Mute Debbie, David.
Travis.
You gotta mute Debbie.
See, I'm with Travis though. I think I liked Civil War more than I liked Winter Soldier, just because it was.
The fuck is wrong with you people?
It's like the guy said, to where it's like if you're growing up and you take all of your action figures and you make all of your action figures fight each other, and it was
Where
just
the hell's Chris? Where's Chris Cassidy? I need somebody on my side. Don't get me wrong. I love Civil War, but Winter Soldier is, in my opinion, it's just my opinion. You know, that's perfection right there.
Right.
That was a damn good show.
I really
Soundtrack perfection.
Also think
Whoa.
No Way Home is the worst Spider take.
I don't know. Have you seen the Andrew Garfield ones?
I wouldn't go that far.
I mean, he's talking MCU Spider-Man, not.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, did you see the Amazing Spider-Man Part 2?
Right.
Or Spider-Man 3? There's some stinkers in there.
And just real quick, my take on the status of the MCU. This is kind of a rabbit hole, so I won't go too far down it. But when Iger retired and Chapek became CEO, he was like, we got to push out all this stuff, and you have this amount of time to do it, and then you got to move, just push out all this stuff. And it was just overwhelming at the amount of stuff. You, like David said, you couldn't even process a Marvel project before. Oh, guess what? You got another one you got to watch. And once Iger came back, it was okay. We're going to do quality over quantity. So, example, Deadpool & Wolverine's the only MCU movie coming out this year.
This year, yeah.
We this year. I mean, we have other Marvel projects, but MCU wise,
Craven.
Of course, there's some other issues too.
Madam Web.
Yeah. Spider-Man freshman year. Yeah, Madam Web.
You got another multiverse Spider-Man movie coming out. Is that this year or next?
Yeah, Craven.
I haven't.
No. Across the multiverse.
Oh, Venom 3. Venom 3.
Oh, yes.
Oh, Beyond? That's been delayed. Yeah. Yeah, Venom 3.
Beyond the multiverse was delayed.
That looks like that could be.
I haven't watched the second one yet.
Yeah, Beyond the Spider-Verse.
What? Just Spider-Man in general. Did you watch The Amazing Spider-Man 2? Did you watch Spider-Man 3? Those two fall well.
Yeah.
That was the worst version of Venom ever.
And it's funny when you look back at the phases of Marvel, it was like for every 5 projects that come out, 4 of them are really good and 1 is sort of meh. Now it's 1 is really good and 4 are meh to okay. So there's that. But I don't know.
I'm sorry, Travis, but I liked
it. Hasn't been all bad.
I thought Age of Ultron was great, mainly for what's his name,
James Spader.
And
James Spader playing Ultron. Yeah. Oh my
like
gosh,
Ant-Man.
So good.
I like the first Ant-Man.
Ant-Man was hilarious.
I know
it wasn't Guardians hilarious, but it was really hilarious.
It was
No, but
funny
it
in
was
its
up
own
there.
way.
It's
It
up
was
there.
cute funny.
Yeah. Yeah. It was
So-
like Thor Ragnarok. Like Ragnarok, yeah, it's not as funny as Guardians, but it's pretty funny still.
Oh, I
So
love
it's,
Ragnarok.
you know,
That's probably the best
I mean,
Thor
it's-
movie.
the best of
Yeah.
the Thor movies.
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah.
The first
Easily.
one, I couldn't get past what he. I just couldn't get past how he looked. If you look at him in the
I
first
know.
movie and how he looks now,
Yeah, I know.
the eyebrows
Yeah.
didn't match. I mean, the
I
eyebrows
know
were
the
just
eyebrows. Yeah.
And the hair
weird
was
color.
short. Well, it wasn't
Yeah.
a weird color. It was blonde. It was
I know,
just
it just-
short. That was
I know,
it was a
just-
short. It wasn't. It was
Yeah,
like
but
shoulder length.
Yeah, I just couldn't get past it. I
Uh,
enjoyed the movie. I just couldn't get past what he looked
Yeah.
like
Another.
compared to what he does now. And I'm not talking fat Thor. I'm talking, peak Thor.
I like Pat Thor.
Yeah.
Brought up.
Do you want to
Ragnarok.
answer the
That's,
second question now?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
I forgot. What was the second question?
Second one is: Are you guys looking forward? Are you guys looking forward to the Fantastic Four?
Oh.
The upcoming MCU.
They you know what?
Right now, it's kind of
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say right now, I am, based on what we know, I'm excited for what it could be. The potential that it has to be, I am excited for that. It's going to be how they execute it for me. That is another thing. Because you can have a great idea and it not work. It just, so I mean, I think they've got a good cast. I like that it's going to start in the 60s and then move into the MCU from there. I think that's a really neat idea.
It's a different timeline too, I believe.
Is it?
Yes,
I think so.
But I think that it starts out when it's in the 60s, it's a different timeline, and then they bring I don't know how, but they bring him in to the MCU. Maybe Deadpool Wolverine has some kind of hint, but they haven't even begun filming Fantastic Four, so that wouldn't make sense now that I think about it. But anyway, I think they've got really good cast, really good. Just
Oh,
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Why does that look better than what I look like now?
Wait, how did that happen so fast?
That must have been AI.
So,
Thank you, Shield.
wow.
that's
Because
our
there's no
Wow.
way I look that good.
We got to
That'll
start
be
getting
up.
some shirts.
That'll
some
be up
shirts.
on the Geek News
Yeah.
Now Facebook page later on today, and on the TikTok. Everybody,
Lord.
write in Debbie for president.
Debbie's new profile picture. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
I don't
But I'm
know what
cautiously
to feel
optimistic right now.
about Fantastic Four because now my brother, who was 10 years older than me, he had a massive comic book collection. Of course, my favorite was always Ghost Rider. I would read Fantastic Four, but they were never my favorite. The first Fantastic Four movie I enjoyed. I mean, second one I didn't like. So
What about
I
the
don't
third
know.
one?
Huh?
What about that third one?
Oh, is that with Michael
I don't know who was in that one.
B. Jordan?
Yes, that's the one.
Okay.
Oh, the remake.
No,
Yeah.
I did
the
not like that
reboot.
one. I didn't like that one. No.
That
So
was
yeah, I'm
horrible.
kind of 50-50 on it.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I like the cast. I'm not sure about Pedro as Reed. That scares me a little bit.
But you see,
Travis,
I think it'll work. I think it can work.
And Travis,
Yeah,
I
go
think
ahead.
you're wrong on this point right here. The best part of the 2015 Fantastic Four was the credits. That was the best part. Because then you knew that the movie was over. That was the best part.
Well, see, if this is the Reed Richards that is older, Pedro's got it down. Like the looks. I mean, I think it's good. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, if it's going to be an older Reed Richards, not a problem with Pedro.
For me, they've really got to do something special with it. I mean, I'll go see it because it's MCU and we're on a show that talks about the MCU, amongst other things. But we've been all over the place.
I know.
But the thing with it is they really have to do something that's going to. I'm with you, Debbie. The first one was good. It wasn't, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. The second one was good, was decent. I like Michael Chiklis, so I'm kind of partial to those two. The third one, I want my $1 back that I spent on my Redbox rental. Still, I want my $1 back. Redbox, if you're watching, I want my $1 back. But it's so for me, it's like you've done all of this. Like the same. It's the same thing with the DCEU. You know, you had the DCEU, and they set up all this stuff with Batman versus Superman and Man of Steel, and then it just kind of went downhill, and it went downhill really fast and in a hurry. I mean, I couldn't even finish watching the first Wonder Woman. I watched Wonder Woman 1984, and I almost
every time.
I almost canceled my subscription to Max because of that movie. Aquaman was just like all over the place. Shazam, the first Shazam was like okay. The Flash movie was awful.
I liked
it.
I liked Flash.
Both of the Suicide Squads were horrible.
The second one was so much better than the first one.
No, I didn't like either one.
Whoa, the James Gunn one was awesome.
And then
what is happening?
I couldn't. I don't care if you block me on that one. I don't care.
No more fan questions. This is a bad idea.
But then you had the Birds of Prey movie. And at that point, I was just I was just like, you know what? Stop casting Margot Robbie as what's her name? As Harley. I am sick to death of Harley. You've got her carrying the DCEU, and it's like you've got other characters that you can use. You've got hardcore characters. You've got Superman. You've got Batman. You've got Wonder Woman. You've got Flash. And what are we going to use? Harley friggin' Quinn? Come on, you're killing me with this. So as far as the DCEU goes, I was just like, I'm done with it. And then James Gunn's going to take it over. And I'm like, you guys are going to have to do something really, really outstanding to bring me back to DC stuff, to DC movies. And what do? The Blue friggin' Beetle? Y'all lost me already, DC. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm done.
That was already made before Gunn came on.
I don't care. You're gonna try and reboot the DCEU with the Blue freaking Beetle. Okay. Come on. And then you're gonna make we're gonna make this. We're gonna make a Flash movie that does the Flashpoint paradox, so we can just explain how all of this gets done. And it's like, no, you're not. That movie is crap. Oh, but we're bringing back Michael Keaton. You're only bringing back Michael Keaton as Batman because Spider-Man brought back Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, and everybody had a fit about that. So now you've got to do something to keep up. You are out of your friggin' minds.
Wow.
Lost me.
Being Debbie.
So that being said, Fantastic.
I'm trying to process this faster than Marvel content. Oh my god!
So, like I said, Fantastic Four has got to do something very, very special to keep me on board with them. So, rant over. I'm done. Blood pressure. Find my center. Find my chi.
Oh my gosh, I like the second Suicide Squad movie. Okay,
I did too. I
that
enjoyed that
was
one.
really good. And Peacemaker is hilarious. Okay,
Okay,
that
everybody
show,
keeps
that
saying
season
that,
was
but I'm
awesome.
sorry. I saw the
You know?
opening credits for it, and I was like, I'm not even going to bother. I don't even want to bother.
What?
The opening
What?
credits. My brother said,
He
"Look
doesn't
at the
like the
opening credits
song.
for the Peacemaker," and I'm like, "You lost me. You didn't even try. You lost me
It's
completely."
hilarious.
And I will. It's hilarious. And even I'll say this, even Zack Snyder's trilogy, I enjoy that. If you watch Batman vs Superman Ultimate Edition, that version's really good. Zack Snyder's Justice League was good. As a trilogy, it works really well. I'm not saying it's the greatest superhero trilogy of all time, or if it's up there with Guardians, but his trilogy
The
is
Zack
really good.
Snyder,
Yes.
the Ultimate Edition, Justice League Ultimate Edition one. Here's the problem. You had so many characters that you were trying to introduce because we have to make our big team movie, so we have to reintroduce all of these characters and say where they came from, and there was so much exposition that it was just like, okay, we got to introduce the Flash, and we got to tell where he came from and tell his whole backstory and all this other stuff, and now we got to introduce Cyborg, and we got to tell his whole backstory and all this other stuff, and Wonder Woman's already had a movie, and Superman, we know where he came from, but Batman, we haven't really touched on him, but we're going to do some stuff with Batman. And then it was 3 hours, and I was like, you could have made a Flash movie, you could have made a Cyborg movie, and then you could have made your team movie and made it good, and maybe make a villain that people care about. Now, the introduction of Darkseid into all of that versus just kind of hinting at it in the original one, okay, I'm fine with that, but good God, 3 hours, 4 hours, however long it was. I mean, it was ungodly. I was like, why didn't you just make separate movies? This is the way Marvel did it. They set up their characters so that they could bring them all together in the team movies. And you just said, we need to catch up with Marvel. Here's
That was
two
probably
characters. Here's 2 characters and team movie. But we're going to bring all the other
I
teams
think
in,
it
and
was
nobody
a
knows who these people
studio
are.
thing. I think that
You're
was a
making me
studio
rant
thing.
again,
Yeah,
Andrew.
at that point, I mean, that's not a creator thing. I
Andrew
ah,
makes me rant. He's making me
I
rant.
know.
All right. Did we miss anything, Debbie? Are we good?
Yeah.
What do we got? What do we got for shameless plugs?
Tomorrow night. Oh shit. Tomorrow night, Sith Dominion. They'll be discussing episode 5. So they're
We'll
like,
be discussing episode 5 while I'm watching episode 6.
yes. Wednesday, I assume a new War of the Stars will drop. I do not know. I haven't seen anything about what they're talking about yet.
Oh, I have no idea.
Let's see. We will not be back Thursday.
Thursday for our friends overseas. Thursday is July the 4th. It's Independence Day in the United States here. So we will all be out celebrating the birth of our nation.
I'm not.
Well,
I could probably do the show by myself, but you know, because I don't go anywhere. I have 2 neighbors behind me. If I want to see fireworks, I just go out to my patio.
We'll call it Discussions with Debbie. We'll call it Discussions with Debbie. Anything goes. Presidential campaign, Star Wars, anything.
Oh.
Saturday, we got Geek Gauntlet Saturday?
Shield, do we have Geek Gauntlet Saturday, or
Are
people
you
still going to
here?
be celebrating?
Everybody going to be sleeping off the 4th of July on that day?
Well, some towns do 4th of July on the weekend, so
Still hungover.
Well, yeah, but like the ones like our
That's
towns
true.
that are doing them on the weekends did them last weekend. They do it the weekend prior to.
Oh.
She said, "Yeah."
Oh, so yes,
So
okay,
they'll be on. Yeah.
yes. Geek
Gauntlet.
Gauntlet podcast will be on Saturday night. There we go.
And then we'll be back Monday.
We'll be back Monday. It'll be a beautiful thing. Kitty, stop that.
Hi, Travis. Thanks for coming in.
Bye, Travis.
Yeah.
Don't forget to follow us
At the
on.
most entertaining part of the show.
Yeah, I know, right? I think it was you and Andrew that got me going. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Exactly.
And you thought I was bad with Elektra.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I was having flashbacks of Chris
What have I
Cassidy
done?
going on one of his rants.
What have I done? It's time to close up shop.
You've created a monster.
Don't get me angry.
Ah.
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Well, people got a week to think of questions for next week. So
Yes. Think of questions
go.
for next week. I will put something up on the Facebook page. Andrew, did you have anything shameless plug wise?
No, I'm all
Okay.
nothing.
Well, don't forget to check out
Nothing.
all of our social medias. Check out Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X. We're not on Twitch. Threads. So is that still a thing?
I think so.
Okay.
Tickety talk.
Tickety Talk. We're on the Tickety Talk. Vote for Debbie for president. Hit that like and subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you know when we do go live with cool things like this. We will see all of you next week right here on MCU Mondays. Y'all all have a great week.
Shit! Language. No one else is going to deal with the fact that Cap just said language. I know. For gosh sake, watch your language. That's not going away anytime soon. You bet your ass.
Steve, you said a bad language word.
Did you tell everyone?
Out with the platinum bastard.
Steve doesn't like that kind of talk.
You know what, Romano? Fury, you son of a bitch.
Ooh, you kiss your mother with that mouth?